Hello, everyone. Melanie Warner here with Defining Moments. Thank you for being here for our show today. I have a very special guest who's been a good friend of mine for years. We've done some projects together in Hollywood. And when he said, I want to write a book, he reached out to me. And that was just about, 2 or 3 months ago. And here we are today. Today is a very special day as he's launching his new book. But first, I want to introduce him. And I would love for you to hear a little bit about his background as well. So, welcome, Julian Habib. Thank you for being here.
Melanie, thank you for having me. So,
Absolutely. So I know a little bit about your story, but our audience, they may not know who you are, anything about your background. I would love for you, if you wouldn't mind, to share a defining moment in your life with our audience.
okay, so it's actually a very, very pivotal pivotal point in my life where I had a terrible accident. I fell 10 feet face first into concrete. And as I was bleeding out by myself, I dug deep and I saved my own life. But I made a deal with the universe at that time that if I survived, I would live in service to the world. So then I spent the next 18 years of my life trying to figure out how to do that. Then the whole idea of writing a book came to be. Be the Fireholder is a book in which I teach people how to step into their highest power by being their most authentic selves unapologetically so they can actualize their goals and dreams in record time. I My whole journey is it began at age 8 where I went door to door selling business supplies. At 13, I had a web design company. At 22, I had a motorsports company. At 23, I co-founded a television network. And then so on and so forth. I've worked on 18 movies in Hollywood. And my book basically takes you through all the adversity and challenges in my life. I show you how I overcame them. I show you how this lesson applies to you, and then I give you reflective questions and tools how to apply this lesson to your life.
So I love this. So you had your own defining moment where you found yourself literally face down on the ground, bleeding out. And at that moment, I don't know, some of you, I've had near death experiences where I came about 90 seconds away from dying and bleeding out at myself. So I get it. And your whole life flashes before your eyes, your head, and you're thinking, I can't die. I still have so much to do. And I don't know about you, but I remember thinking, what about my family? What about my laundry? What about my book? Like I knew I had this book in me. And so you were motivated at that point to really rebuild everything in your life, not only to heal your physical body, but the emotional things that you were going through. And then you learned these tools along the way. So, how did you end up turning all of that into becoming a coach or a consultant and helping other people learn how to do the same, have this major transformation without the pain, the physical, emotional, and financial pain that you went through? How did you come about creating this system?
That's a great question. So a big basis or foundational concept in my book is transmutation. So that horrible experience, instead of just sitting in the pain and suffering of it, I turned it into purpose. It led me to joining broadcasting school and martial arts. It's those two things that carried my entire career. And with martial arts, it's the backbone, it's my spirit. It's these two things are inseparable to my soul. With the whole concept of transmutation, I teach the reader how to take uh, painful, sad moments or adversity and to change them into things that can benefit their life or profit or give them purpose. It's as I dug deep, I in the moments where I was bleeding out, I learned that not only could I count on myself when it mattered most, but I could turn pain into purpose.
So when you created this system based on your own pain, right, and being able to rebuild everything in your life, um, what do you call your system? Or I know you have a couple of different steps and everything that people can go through that gives a very specific process, but what do you call your system?
I call it the fireholder framework. It's based off of what ignites you, what fuels those desires, and it's about holding the flame of legacy in your hands. It's how we can do things in the present that will impact our futures and the future of those around us.
I love that. So what happens, what do you think holds people back, right? Like that that prevents them from actually doing things that they know are going to help their life? But what do you think holds people back?
So that comes down to two different things: societal conditioning and self-limiting beliefs. Societal conditioning is where the world teaches us to play small, and we are conditioned to live inside of a box and to find safety. Um, and the whole thing is there's a chapter in my book called The Humility Trap, where we are taught to not oversell ourselves, to not shine and take up space because that is proper. But the reality of life is that it's not the most talented that find the light, the spotlight. It's those that have the greatest visibility and believe in themselves and speak authentically in true with the voice of their soul. And it comes down to whether or not you are going to pursue the calling of your life's purpose or not, or are you going to simply live in a box, never take chances, and on your deathbed look back and have incredible regrets and all of the weight that that carries. And I'm not someone that wants to live with regrets, so I show the reader, I show you how to live a life with courage so that you can accomplish everything that you want to do.
So, what happens to people if they don't figure this out? If they don't have the system, they don't know the steps, they don't know where to start. What happens to people who just stay stuck?
They they drown in the lack of purpose. They drown in despair. They leave work, they come home, they watch Netflix, and that's their whole existence till the day they die. I couldn't think of anything worse than that.
Yeah, I've often said, to me, the fate worse than death is wasted talent. And
Mhm.
I wrote an article recently for Forbes, and it was about how 80% of people never find purpose or meaning in their work. And it just broke my heart. And it put me on this mission to like help connect people with all these amazing thought leaders in the people library, like like when people have this issue, now I have a solution to bring somebody to you that I know and trust that you can help them because we worked with you on your book and we know what you're capable of doing for people. Your book has so many amazing tools. You've got so many great examples of people that you have transformed some lives. Uh, I think I think the challenge for people who when they know better, they do better, like Maya Angelou says. So you just got to like get in connection with the people that have what you want. Always listen to the people that have what you want. So you're in a great position now, having overcome so many things in your own personal life, your professional life, to be able to mentor other people. So what should our viewers do next? How can they get in touch with you? Obviously, we're going to talk about your book as well, and they can get a copy of your book. But how else can they get in touch with you, and what's the next step for them?
Well, I do offer high ticket coaching one-on-one. The first thing they would do would be they would go to my website, bethefireholder.com, where you can learn about the book. To learn more about me, you would go to whoisjulianhabib.com, where you can learn about the digital courses and the coaching, the one-on-one mentoring I offer. The book is going to give you an overview of your own life. So after you read that, contact me, and then we can try to find solutions to get you unstuck and take you to the next level.
I love that. So they have really practical tools. So some of you are, you're sitting here going, okay, I know I'm stuck. I know I need to do something. I don't know what to do. The first step is get a copy of the book, right? So tell us the name of the book and who it's for.
It's called Be the Fireholder. And it's for those, I would say, age 22 to 43. You could even go a little older. It's for those who feel like they are meant for more in life, that are tired of just coming home and watching Netflix. It's people that feel stuck as well. And it's also for those that are very accomplished. Sometimes in life, you'll get to 42, 43, 44 years old, and you'll have money, you'll have the life that you dreamt of, but it's unfulfilling. It's like, what do I do next? And the key is it's to find the inner voice and the calling of your soul. And my book shows you how to bring that out from within.
I love that. And you guys, today is a special day. This is the actual official launch of this book. Julian has already hit #1 on the bestseller list. So it's been #1, which is so cool. Congratulations. Beautiful cover. I love it. And you have a special price if you go today to get it. The ebook price is only 99 cents. The print book is just under $10. So it's a great way to buy a couple of different copies as gifts for other people while you can. If you are watching this back at another date, just note that the pricing may be higher at that point because we're launching live today. So this is our live launch price. And basically, this is your great chance to go get a copy, share it with others. Thank you for supporting Julian. Julian, thank you for being here today. And is there anything else that you want to share with our viewers before we wrap up our show?
Yes, it's so what I want to show you is that the impossible can be achieved. And the things that scare you, that you feel like might be out of reach, can be obtained with an actionable plan. You can look into the future self of who you wish to embody and reverse engineer that future person and bring him into the present, bring he or her into the present. The life that you want to live, the dreams that you want to accomplish are all totally doable. You just have to take action.
I love that so much. And I was just reading similar in Think and Grow Rich. This is one of my favorite books of all time, and one of my favorite quotes in that book. And this book is 100 years old. So when you write a legacy book like this is the type of book that will be out. This is the type of book that will spurn, trainings and create opportunities for other people to maybe even do certifications. Like you've got so much going on. There's so many great tools, just like this book. But in Think and Grow Rich, I remember Napoleon Hill said almost 100 years ago, more gold has been mined from the thoughts of man than has ever been taken from the earth. And just like a gold mine, people they give up 3 feet from gold because they drill and they think this is the only way. And then nothing happens and they give up. And in that book, they talk about how these guys spent all this money and time invested and they couldn't find the vein because they didn't know about the fault lines. And then they went and advised an expert. They actually sold all their equipment for a few $100. And some guy came in, consulted with a mentor and an expert, and they found that if they had just moved that drill 3 feet over, they hit the gold mine. So that person gave up and it created opportunity for someone else. And sometimes you guys may be struggling in your life, your business, your career, your relationships, your health, and opportunity comes as a disguise. And sometimes it comes through setbacks.
Mhm.
Sometimes your greatest opportunities come from when you're face down in the cement, bleeding out. And it's so disguised as opportunity that most people don't even see it as opportunity. And you might recognize opportunities come from pain. They can come from temporary setback. They could come from grief. And so just be alert that if those things are happening in your life, it doesn't mean it's the end. It means it's the beginning of a new chapter. If you're open to the possibility and the opportunity of what these types of situations can create in your life and your business, this is how legacies are made. So thank you so much for being here, Julian. I'm so proud of you, my friend, like so happy that you got this done and you did it pretty quick. Any advice that you want to give to anybody that's going through this process or trying to get their book out of them?
So I did it. You can do it too. And I would say definitely work with Melanie. It has been a tremendous experience working with you. So thank you for everything.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. You're a good student. You did everything we told you to do and beyond. Like you're just out there crushing it. I know you're going to be successful. And I'm really, really happy that you're impacting the lives of so many young people, and especially young men. I think parents out there, if you're listening, we lose track. I have 2 boys. I know I worry about them getting lost in the world. What happens after school, after college, then they're real adults and they're adulting. And I love to see them partner up and getting in communities like yours because I think it would just be so helpful for them to learn from people who've already gone through tough times and give them tools to help them have that resilience. And so, like, I wish that I had had that kind of resource when I was in my early 20s trying to build a business, hitting, walls and not realizing that that's what's giving me the strength and resilience to do these things as I got older. So thank you for doing what you do.
My pleasure.
All right, you guys. Well, thanks again for joining us. And if you have any questions for Julian, you can reach out on the two different websites that he mentioned here earlier. The links are below. You can also click on the links to actually get his book on Amazon. You can also visit his website for more information or to book some time with him. And then at the same time, if you have any questions about if you want to do what Julian did and you want to do your own book, then I suggest you go to our website, which is mydefiningmoments.com. You can hit that apply button. We want to learn a little bit more about you and your goals and see how we can support you. And our greatest joy is helping to give birth to these little book babies every day in the world. So congratulations, Julian, on your little book baby. I know you're so proud, and I'm proud of you. And congratulations on also being a best-selling author. This is where the fun part begins, and I cannot wait to see where you take this journey. I know you're going to do well and you're going to crush it. So congratulations again, and thank you for showing up for yourself and for all of your future readers and our viewers here today.
Thank you so much, Melanie.
Absolutely. All right, you guys, we'll see you next time. Go support his book. And if you love the book, please go leave an honest review on Amazon and support these authors. Awesome. Thank you so much, everybody. See you next time. Bye.